the Pacers in Indianapolis as we bring you an Eastern Conference contest. And now Washington's starting group. John Wall and Gilbert Arenas pairing up in the backcourt. Howard is out there with Nick Young and McGee. And for Indiana, Danny Granger and Tyler Hansbrough make up the forwards. Then it's Roy Hibbert, and there's Collison and George. A rebound by Young. Indiana on D. The Pacers finished last season at 32-50, not really in the playoff mix as the season wrapped up.
No, it was over fairly early for the Pacers as far as the playoffs go, and they did a little better against the Eastern Conference opponents, however, 23-29.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Well, I had a chance to speak with head coach Jim O'Brien. I asked him what word would best describe their defense, and he replied, intimidation. He thinks their length and capacity to block shots makes teams think twice about bringing the ball inside against them. That should certainly work to their advantage today, guys.
Thanks, Doris. So defense is the key early on.
You know, it's not surprising, Kevin, when you think about the great team, so much of their game plan.
Excellent defense, and the steal earns them a quick bucket in transition.
Back to Collison. Granger from outside. And the Pacers can't get it to go. We've seen a quick start here for the Wizards. Looking at Danny Granger, a great wing player taken out of New Mexico, taken number 17, in fact, by the Indiana Pacers, Clark, back in 2005.
Boy, and that's a great value at that pick, Kevin. I mean, he's turned into their franchise player. 2 seasons ago was his big breakthrough. He was an all-star. They run their offense through him, and he's responded, finishing 5th in the league in scoring.
He tried to air it out. Bad pass there.
Collison, and he nails the triple.
Some players really look for the three-point shot in transition. It's one of the best times to shoot it. You have to be a sharpshooter, though, and of course, he is.
Great awareness makes him a dangerous threat every time down the floor.
Hibbert with it. Here's Hansbrough, and he drops it in on the layup.
You know, you negate any semblance of a defense if you let them get that close to the basket.
Here's Wall. Magnificent rejection. They retain possession. Picked up by Collison. 4 on the clock. Back to Arenas. The tray kept alive. Young from outside. That's good.
Kevin, that's just not good defense. You can't be giving players of his talent level looks like that. Come on now.
Collison, the pass to Hansbrough. And jammed in for 2 good eyes and hands there. Set it up.
That's right, fellas. Don't be afraid to power it down.
Yeah, Clark, a good capper at the end of that play. Now Wall. 8 points for him. Collison hits the reach-in call. That is his first foul of the game. Here's Wall. 6-point game. Wall is called for the charge. That's his first foul.
Great job by the defender that time. He got his feet set, stood his ground, and absorbed the contact.
Here is Collison. He dishes it. Here's George. That ball's great assist by Darren Collison.
Little different look here. Great man-to-man defense.
Kept alive. Here's McGee. Connects from in close.
They're really doing a nice job, a really good job of getting everything they want in this quarter. Just good, solid basketball.
Here's Wall. 1:31 left in the first. He's covered by Collison. Here's Wall. Great D that time from Collison. On offense, here are the Pacers. Trailing by 4. So how fortunate are the Wizards to have landed the #1 overall pick in the offseason?
Well, they picked a nice year to be lucky in that regard, Kevin. I mean, Wall is just the kind of player that I think can take Washington and the NBA by storm and get this franchise back on track.
So it's Indiana now. 6-point game. Now Hibbert. Here's George. Hits the back iron, but gets the lucky bounce.
Beautiful, beautiful pass. Well executed there.
To the paint, Arenas. George hauls it in off the glass. Wall is tagged with the reach. That'll be his second foul of the game. On defense, Washington. They lead by 4.
He's had some problems finding the range here in this quarter.
The rebound by Young.
It's hard to make a pinpoint pass from that far away. He couldn't get a hold of it.
Wizards leading by 4. All with it. He's got 10. And great assist as he lays that one in. 6 points for him.
Excellent anticipation there, Kev. He placed that pass perfectly.
And here's Hibbert. He's against Young. Here's George. Arenas knocks it away.
This is one of the key reasons why they're losing. You have to get more production out of it.
And it's been a tight game as the second quarter gets going. The Wizards with the lead. So the Wizards 5 right now. John Wall and Gilbert Arenas pairing up in the backcourt. Nick Young is out there with Howard and McGee. George is guarded by Howard. Backing down is Hibbert. Here's George. Takes it up. The shot will not go. And it's the Wizards taking it the other way.
You got to expect more out of him here. He's had a lot of difficulty this quarter, which in turn is making it difficult for them to cut into this deficit at all.
And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Well, guys, John Wall, a much-touted prospect, but everyone talks about how grounded he seems to be, how he's a guy who's all about winning. Wall said, a lot of people expect a lot from me, expect me to go in and do great things just like I did in college. But I always say, you got to stay humble and hungry. Got to keep working hard, and I got to prepare myself for the next level. Guys, that is exactly the hard-working attitude that makes coaches smile.
You said it, Doris. Thanks. Here's Hibbert. Still looking to get on the scoreboard. Granger outside. Frames the open look.
He's just so gifted offensively. He's a tough guy to match up with.
Wizards leading by 3. And for the Pacers, a 32-50 record overall last season, number 10 in the Eastern Conference.
Not what they expected, Kevin, but at home, the Pacers did end up 23-18.
Tipped. It's 2-on-1. It's vertical. Oh! And he dunks that one through.
That dunk made a statement right there.
Well, putting on a show, Clark. Such an impressive move. And Clark, home court advantage really can be a huge boost to a team, can't it?
And you find it being the case more with younger teams, Kevin, because it really does give a team like that a burst of energy. But for any team, it helps.
You know, Clark, the Wizards not a great road team last year, just 11 wins away from the nation's capital.
But, Kevin, from where they were the year before, I mean, when they only won 6 on the road, I mean, that's a 100% increase just about. So they'll take that.
On the road troubles, do you think they'll snap out of it this season?
That's one of the toughest things to get corrected when you're trying to build a winning team is what goes on the road. So it won't be easy because they're young, but adding some talent and some depth should give them a chance to start moving towards winning on the road. In an effort to solidify the middle, they've changed to a 2-3 zone.
Wizards leading by 5.
You know, taking a look at Danny Granger, he's had some injuries recently. Last December, he tore the plantar fascia in his right foot and had to miss a month of playing time.
George, he's guarded by Howard.
He knew exactly where the ball was going and got a hand on it.
All alone, finishes the break with a ferocious slam. And Granger tore his fascia. That can be pretty painful.
Yeah, I've heard that, Kevin. It's one of the more painful injuries anybody can have, particularly when your living is based on running and jumping up and down the basketball court.
Down low.
Not the right time to throw that entry pass there, Kevin.
So it's Washington now. 7-point differential. Here's Howard. Too much mustard on that one. He has 5. George. He's covered by Arenas. Backing down is Hibbert. The jump hook cannot hit. And Washington will go the other way. Pass to Howard.
Good heads-up play to deflect that pass. That's why you stay active on defense with your hands. Make them use that clock.
And the Pacers call time here. Here's Wall. 14 points for him. From deep. Hibbert gets the board inside. Hansbrough inside. Here's Wall. Hibbert with the block.
He tried to sneak past, but didn't quite make it. Wasn't able to get it done. He's got to be a little more careful in that situation.
Hey, get in there, get in there.
Here's Young. They lead by 7.
Watching the team shoot this well is fun for some fans watching at home, but it's no picnic for the guy who's coaching the defense. I mean, he's really upset with how his team is not giving the effort at that end of the floor. Simply put, that's just bad defense.
And Indiana has possession, trailing by 10. Here's Hibbert. The dump off. Pass to Collison. Behind the arc. Indiana again missing.
You know, 9 out of 10 times he's making you pay on a wide open look like that. I guess that was number 10, though.
Clark, when you talk about the Washington Wizards, a team in turmoil last season.
Well, they traded away the number 5 pick trying to make a run at playoff dominance. It actually all fell apart, Kevin, due to injuries, legal troubles for Gilbert Arenas and Javaris Crittenton. They've got work to do.
It's blocked, and the Wizards with possession. They're on a 13-3 run. Here's Arenas, and that's good, laying it in. Arenas has got 8 points.
What passion for the game. They're putting on a clinic out there.
Here's George. Buries the corner jumper.
He drew the D in and then kicked it out to the open man.
Back to Howard. Goes up. Can't get it to go. And Indiana will go the other way with it. George, defended by Young. Here's Hansbrough. Josh Howard grabs the board.
He really needs to hit that consistently, or they'll just keep letting him shoot it.
Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock. Leads him with the pass, and the Wizards give up the possession.
Sometimes you just don't connect. They can't dwell on it. They've got to move on and just D up and get it back.
And Indiana has possession. It's a 13-point game. Got a piece of it.
They haven't adjusted to the defensive intensity they're facing, and it's resulted in far too many turnovers here. I mean, just in this quarter alone, they've been throwing it all over the gym.
And the first.
All right, let's tip off the HP. A lot of points on.
Well, it hasn't been very close so far, but with another half remaining, still plenty of time left. So it's Washington now. Paul George and Danny Granger on the perimeter. Tyler Hansbrough out there with Roy Hibbert and Collison. That's the 5 to begin the second half for Jim O'Brien.
Oh, what a great look to get it inside. That's the way to find him when he's ready to score.
Young with the ball. Howard kicks to McGee. Here's Young. Again, the Wizards score.
Right now, he's just too good, Kevin. Way too good. They need to bring a second defender and try to make him give up the ball.
You know, Clark, McGee's mentality when he gets the ball, and he has said this, is just drive, and try to get a dunk or a foul. Not too bad.
I like the aggressiveness, but you got to pick your spots. But at this stage in his career, he's not a very strong guy, but he's extremely athletic. So I like the fact that he's trying to establish himself by getting into the paint area. And as he gets stronger, he'll be able to finish more of those opportunities.
Get outside.
Here's Wall. 14 points for him. Great D that time from Collison. A challenging stretch here for Indiana. Oh! Did you see that?
And look at how he posed on the rim for a few seconds after that one. That's never going to endear you to your opponents. They don't like that kind of stuff.
No, he was enjoying that one so much he didn't want to let go.
Yeah, I think he was throwing salt in the wound, though.
Back to Howard. Inside. Baseline J. Wall's shot is off. One thing we've seen from these guys is excellent ball movement.
And I love the unselfishness. It's a joy to watch.
George. He's covered by Arenas. Hibbert with a screen on Arenas. From deep. It bounces out of bounds after the shot. We get a look at the Pacers here. What does this team need to do to get on top?
I think they need another star next to Danny Granger, and they need the continued development of young players. Brandon Rush, Roy Hibbert, and certainly a good play at the point guard position would help also.
Jacks up a three. Josh Howard grabs the board. And the Wizards with possession. The lead is 15. Now Wall. Pass to Howard. And here's Wall. Here's Young. Over Hibbert. Young's shot is off.
That's not something you'll see very often. Got the mid-range jumper he wanted, but off target.
Baseline jumper. Gets the bucket. He's got 15. Here's Wall. 16 points for him. Picked up by Collison. Wall, that's good.
Well, he's really been big for their team, finding a way to consistently get it done on the scoreboard. Plays like that are what makes this league so great. He's a special player.
I don't care if you're a fan of another team, you have to admire someone, Clark, who can make those types of plays. Oh! Up high and down hard.
He can get up there like he owns that rim.
Taking things into his own hands, you're right on that one. Here's George. Can't connect on the quick shot. It's off his foot. And it's whistled a kick. So it's Washington now. 15-point game. Pass to Arenas. And the rebound goes to Danny Granger. Thinking about Gilbert Arenas, he said he'd made a conscious decision prior to last year to avoid the media and let his play do the talking.
Well, Kevin, it didn't quite work out that way now, did it?
Nope,
it
sure
was
didn't.
a really hard and difficult lesson for Arenas. I hope he learned it.
Arenas missing again. And here's Indiana, trailing by 13. George backs in, puts up the tray. Collison, no good. Clark, back to Arenas. It's been a tough stretch for him even before the legal troubles. He'd been fighting his way back from a career-threatening knee injury.
Yeah, and that's always frustrating for a player, especially like Arenas, because quickness and explosiveness is such a huge part of who he is and what he does.
Here's George. Shot is no good, and it's the Wizards taking it the other way. 17 points was their biggest margin. Young from outside. That's good, and it's Arenas with the assist. 11 points in the game. Here's George. And the Pacers can't get it to go. Washington controlling the game. 16-point lead. Here's Young. Granger knocks it away. Here's Indiana now. Indiana again missing.
Oh, man. Shots like that will make a coach lose his hair.
Hibbert gets called for blocking. That is his first foul of the game.
A little too much body contact there. You have to stay in front of the ball handler by moving your feet, or you'll get tagged with that call every time.
Here's Wall. 20 points for him. It's dumped off.